Welcome back, everybody. Today we're going to be doing a deep dive on Melissa Carbone and her book, Ready, Fire, Aim.
Okay.
It's a really interesting look at her journey from like growing up on a farm to building this whole Halloween empire.
Yeah.
And there are so many insights, I think, for all of us on, passion and competition and everything in between.
Yeah, it's fascinating how her early experiences really shaped her whole entrepreneurial spirit.
Yeah.
Like growing up on a farm, it sounds idyllic, but
Yeah.
wasn't always like a peaceful, existence. Her mom left her dad when she was pretty young, and they had to kind of like pick up and start over.
So it sounds like from an early age, she had the sense of resilience like instilled in her.
Actually, in the book, she talks about how her mom bought this like totally rundown farm against everyone's advice. It became their sanctuary, a testament to her mom's bold choices and kind of vision.
Yeah.
And I think you can really see echoes of that in Carbone's own approach to business. She's not afraid to take risks and kind of go against the grain.
It's like those early challenges really planted the seeds for her ready, fire, aim philosophy.
Precisely. And it's not just about her mom. Her early passion for music also reveals a lot about kind of her drive. She started bands and even joined a naked punk band at one point.
That's a detail that definitely sticks with you. It shows a willingness to push boundaries and defy expectations, even if it means raising a few eyebrows along the way.
Yeah.
But her focus eventually shifted from music to the business side of the entertainment industry, and she lands an internship at Arista Records in LA.
Right.
That's a pretty big leap.
It really speaks to her adaptability and ambition. She was young, didn't really have any connections in LA, was relying on public transportation, and on top of all that, she was working 3 jobs just to make ends meet.
Wow. So talk about like a relentless work ethic. It sounds like those early experiences in LA were a real crash course in hustle and determination.
They were. And they laid the foundation for her later success. Think about it. She was a cocktail waitress at a strip club working alongside this internship at Arista Records.
Yeah.
She was constantly surrounded by people from all walks of life, learning how to navigate these complex social situations.
Right.
It's like she was unconsciously honing the skills that she would need to build her own empire.
It's fascinating how these like seemingly unrelated experiences can come together to shape someone's path.
Absolutely. And you see that even more clearly when we look at her time at Clear Channel. She spent a decade there climbing the corporate ladder, soaking up everything she could about the entertainment industry.
It seems like her boss, Jackal, was a major influence during that time.
He was. Carbone talks about his infectious passion and how it inspired her.
Yeah.
She learned from him the importance of not just having a good idea, but also believing in it wholeheartedly and inspiring others to do the same.
Yeah.
This seems to be a recurring theme with Carbone surrounding herself with passionate people.
So it wasn't just about acquiring business skills. It was about absorbing that entrepreneurial spirit.
Yeah.
And then, of course, there's Allison, who became both her personal and professional partner.
And their relationship was a real driving force in Carbone's journey. They supported each other, challenged each other, and ultimately helped each other grow.
Absolutely.
It was during this time that the seeds for 1031 Productions were planted.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about that aha moment that kind of sparked the creation of her company.
It's surprisingly simple. Carbone was driving through Griffith Park, seeing all these families enjoying the fall festivities, and it hit her. Los Angeles was missing out on truly immersive Halloween experiences. There were pumpkin patches and haunted houses, sure,
Right.
but nothing that really tapped into the potential of the season.
So she saw a gap in the market, and instead of just thinking about it, she decided to do something about it. That takes guts.
It does. And it's a perfect example of her ready, fire, aim philosophy.
Sure.
She didn't wait for the perfect moment or for all the pieces to fall into place. She saw an opportunity and took action.
And of course, everyone thought she was crazy for quitting her stable job to pursue this unconventional idea.
Naturally. But Carbone had a vision, and she was determined to make it a reality no matter the obstacles. And those obstacles came in many forms: securing funding, navigating permits, battling skepticism.
Yeah.
She even jokes about wanting to poison the woman who held the power over their permits.
Oh, wow.
It just highlights the sheer amount of grit it took to get this off the ground.
The Los Angeles Haunted Hayride was her first big venture, and it became a massive success. But before we dive into that, I'm curious about something you mentioned earlier. This pivotal moment at the Halloween industry trade show.
Ah, yes. It was like stepping into a time capsule. Carbone was so excited to connect with, fellow Halloween enthusiasts, but quickly realized she was one of the few women in a sea of men.
Wow.
It made her keenly aware of the challenges women face in male-dominated industries, even one as seemingly fun and creative as Halloween.
It's a good reminder that even in industries we associate with creativity and inclusivity, there are still systemic biases at play.
Exactly. But that experience didn't deter her. Instead, it fueled her determination to succeed. She hustled, she networked, and she ultimately secured that crucial sponsorship from MIN Cooper that helped launch the Haunted Hayride into a phenomenon.
And that success paved the way for expansion into other attractions, right?
Right. They launched Ghost Ship
Yeah.
on an attraction on an actual ship sailing into the ocean, and then the Great Horror Campout, this like 12-hour overnight experience. Carbone's ambition was clearly boundless. She was constantly seeking new ways to push the boundaries of immersive entertainment.
It sounds like she was on a roll, but I know things weren't always smooth sailing. The ghost ship experience in particular seems to be a story of both ambition and lessons learned.
It's a classic case of a brilliant idea that didn't quite hit the mark. On paper, the concept was amazing, a haunted attraction on a ship sailing into the dark ocean. Who wouldn't want to experience that?
It does sound incredible, so where did things go wrong?
The problem was the reality didn't quite match the expectations they'd set.
Okay.
They ran into some serious demographic challenges.
Right.
The target audience they had in mind,
Yeah.
those like hardcore horror fans,
Yeah.
they didn't necessarily have the means to like get to the location or the budget for this more expensive experience.
Right.
And the people who did attend were often looking for a different kind of experience.
Yeah.
More of a party atmosphere than a terrifying haunted house.
So they ended up with this mismatch between their vision and the audience they attracted.
Exactly. And the backlash was brutal. Carbone talks about being flooded with negative Yelp reviews, scathing social media comments, even death threats.
Wow.
It really shook her.
That's intense. How does she handle that kind of pressure?
Initially not very well.
Yeah.
She admits her first instinct was to get defensive, to lash out at the critics.
Yeah.
It's understandable,
Mhm.
but it only made the situation worse. It was a tough lesson in the importance of communication, especially during a crisis.
So how did she turn things around?
It took some serious introspection and a dose of humility. She realized that she had to own the missteps, listen to the feedback, and figure out a way to communicate more effectively. Instead of getting defensive, she started offering solutions, engaging with dissatisfied customers, and eventually the situation de-escalated.
It sounds like a valuable lesson in crisis management. But as we know, there was more going on behind the scenes. While dealing with the fallout from Ghost Ship, Carbone was also going through a difficult personal time.
You're right. Her relationship with Allison was starting to fall apart. In the book, she's very candid about the insecurities she felt after leaving her corporate job and how that stress impacted their relationship.
It's a good reminder that even successful entrepreneurs are human, dealing with the same personal challenges as everyone else. And sometimes those challenges can bleed into our professional lives in unexpected ways.
Absolutely. Carbone doesn't shy away from sharing her vulnerability. She talks about the breakup with Allison as a devastating loss that sent her into a spiral of depression. She even admits to having suicidal thoughts.
It's a raw and honest account of hitting rock bottom. It's especially striking how she connects this personal struggle to the Ghost Ship failure.
She sees both experiences as lessons in resilience. She had to confront her ego, her fears, and ultimately learn from those mistakes, both personal and professional. It forced her to grow not just as an entrepreneur, but as a person.
This resonates with something you mentioned earlier about how Carbone surrounds herself with passionate individuals. It seems like she's also quite self-aware and willing to learn and adapt.
Yes, and that's even more apparent when you consider how she bounced back. Appearing on Shark Tank was a turning point. Not only did she secure the biggest investment in the show's history, $2 million from Mark Cuban, but she did it while still grappling with the breakup and battling depression.
It's incredible to think she had a breakdown right before filming and still managed to deliver a winning pitch. That takes an immense amount of courage and determination.
It really does. It speaks volumes about her commitment to her vision and her ability to channel her pain into a force for success. She was determined to prove herself, and she did.
And even with Cuban's investment and the continued success of the Haunted Hayride, I'm sure there were still plenty of challenges in scaling her business.
Of course. But Carbone highlights the importance of staying true to her core mission while also being open to evolution. She had to figure out how to build a killer team, delegate effectively, and adapt to the ever-changing landscape of the entertainment industry.
This is where her insights get really valuable for anyone looking to build a successful business or navigate their own career path. Let's break down those key lessons she outlines in her book.
She starts with the importance of passion. She believes in living and acting with passion, even if it makes you unpopular.
She even connects this to her activism, her passion for animal welfare and environmentalism. It's like she's saying, don't be afraid to stand up for what you believe in, even if it means going against the grain. Think about what you're passionate about. How can you bring that into your own work?
It's a powerful message, especially in a world where it's easy to get caught up in conformity. And then there's her take on competition. She's a self-proclaimed competitive person, drawing from her experience as a kickboxing champion.
That's a side of her we haven't even touched on. But it makes sense. Building a business from the ground up takes a lot of fight.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But she doesn't see competition as a zero-sum game. It's about pushing yourself to be better understanding your strengths and weaknesses, finding collaborators who complement your skills, and constantly evolving.
I love that. So it's less about crushing the competition and more about using it as fuel to improve and grow.
Precisely.
Yeah.
And another key theme is the importance of building a killer team.
She talks a lot about finding talented and passionate individuals, often outside of traditional hiring methods. What are some of her key takeaways there?
She emphasizes the importance of looking beyond resumes. She wants people who are passionate, driven, and willing to learn and grow, even if they don't have a long list of credentials.
So it's about finding people who are a good fit for the company culture, who share her vision, and who are eager to contribute.
Exactly. And she also stresses the importance of empowering your team, giving them the space to make decisions and take ownership. It's about creating a culture of trust and collaboration.
It sounds like she's more of a mentor than a dictator. She's guiding her team, not micromanaging them.
That's a great way to put it. And finally, there's the concept of influence, which she sees as extending beyond financial gain or social media followers.
Right. She talks about using influence for positive change, aligning your actions with your values, and making a difference in the world.
She walks the walk, too. Her company, 1031 Productions, incorporates environmental sustainability into its practices. They use recycled and repurposed materials, offer plant-based food options, and partner with nonprofit organizations. It shows they're not just about making money, they're about making a positive impact.
It's a message that resonates deeply with me, and I'm sure with our listeners as well. It's not just about the bottom line anymore. It's about making a difference in the world around us.
And Carbone's story is a perfect illustration of that. She built a successful business while staying true to her values, and she's using her platform to advocate for the causes she believes in. It's pretty inspiring.
It is. So if we were to distill all of Carbone's wisdom into a few key takeaways for our listener, what would you say those are?
Well, let's start with the ready, fire, aim philosophy. Don't let fear hold you back. Take action. Learn from your mistakes and keep moving forward.
Action is key. And don't get bogged down in analysis paralysis.
Right. And find your passion. Pursue it relentlessly, even if it means taking an unconventional path.
Don't be afraid to be different. Embrace what sets you apart.
Exactly. Build a strong team. Surround yourself with talented and passionate individuals who share your vision.
Find your tribe, your people, the ones who challenge you to be better and support you along the way.
And lastly, use your influence for good. Look for ways to make a positive impact, whether it's in your business, your personal life, or your community.
Leave the world a little better than you found it. It's a powerful message. Carbone's story is a reminder that we all have the potential to create something extraordinary.
It's not about the resources we have, it's about the choices we make and the actions we take.
It's about having the courage to step outside our comfort zones, embrace challenges, and pursue our dreams with passion and purpose.
It's about taking our best ride.
Exactly. And that's something we can all do no matter our starting point. Now, before we move on to our final thoughts, let's pause for a moment and let our listener reflect. What resonates with you most? What's one thing you're going to take action on after listening to this deep dive? We'll be back in a moment to wrap things up.
All right, welcome back. Hopefully you had some time to think about all those different insights and see which ones resonated most with you. I mean, we've covered a lot, her crazy journey building a business, and then all those great lessons that she shares in Ready, Fire, Aim. It really is a story that stays with you. And more importantly, it's full of wisdom that you can actually apply to your own life. Whether you're like an entrepreneur or a creative or just someone looking to navigate their path with more intention.
Yeah. So let's kind of like distill all that into some key takeaways and maybe even a few like actionable steps that you can consider. One thing that stuck out to me was Carbone's emphasis on like decision making. She has this great quote: always make a decision even if you don't know the answer.
Oh, yeah.
It's about taking ownership and just being decisive, even in the face of, like, uncertainty.
That really resonated with me, too. It's so easy to get stuck in that analysis paralysis thing, just overthinking every possible outcome. But like Carbone points out, sometimes inaction is even more detrimental than just making a decision, even a less than perfect one.
It's about trusting your gut, taking that leap of faith, and being willing to course correct along the way. And speaking of course correction, Carbone is a master at turning, like, setbacks into opportunities for growth.
Yeah.
The ghost ship experience is a perfect example.
Right.
A major blow financially and emotionally. But instead of letting it define her, she just took responsibility, analyzed what went wrong, and used those lessons to then create the Great Horror Camp Out.
Yep. Yep.
It's a testament to, like, her resilience and that ability to bounce back from, adversity, which I think is a skill that can be applied to really any area of life.
Absolutely. We all face challenges, disappointments, even like outright failures, but it's really how we respond to those moments that shapes our journey.
That's so true. So to recap, takeaway number 1, be decisive and don't be afraid to make mistakes. Takeaway number 2.
Find your passion and let it fuel your actions. Carbone's love for Halloween, her passion for creating those immersive experiences, that's what drove her to push through countless obstacles and ultimately achieve incredible success.
And it wasn't always a straight path. She had to hustle, network, and overcome so many challenges, but that passion just kept her going, even when things got tough. I think it's a good reminder that passion isn't always something you just, like, stumble upon. Sometimes you have to actively pursue it, experiment. Explore different avenues and see where those interests lead you.
Exactly. When you find that thing that lights you up, makes you lose track of time,
Yeah.
kind of know you're on the right track.
Mm-hmm.
Which brings us to another crucial lesson, the importance of building a strong team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Carbone's adamant about surrounding yourself with talented and passionate individuals, even if they don't have, like, the most impressive resumes. Remember her saying, don't look for the person with the best resume, look for the person with no resume. She values passion and drive over credentials.
That's right.
Yeah.
She understands that skills can be taught, but genuine enthusiasm and that willingness to learn are invaluable. And she doesn't just assemble a team, she empowers them.
Right.
Gives them the space to make decisions, take ownership, and contribute their own unique perspectives.
It's about creating a collaborative environment where everyone feels valued and, like, invested in the company's success.
Precisely. And finally, there's that overarching message of using your influence for good. It's not just about personal gain. It's about making a positive impact on the world around you.
Carbone walks the walk with her company's commitment to sustainability and her personal advocacy for causes she believes in. It's a powerful reminder that success isn't just about what you achieve, but also how you achieve it and the impact you have along the way.
Yeah. It's about aligning your actions with your values and using your platform, however big or small, to make a difference.
So as we wrap up this deep dive into the world of Melissa Carbone, we want to leave you with a final thought. A question to consider as you move forward on your own path. What bold choice are you considering making, and what's stopping you from taking action?
Maybe starting that business you've always dreamed of, or pursuing a creative passion, or simply speaking up for a cause you believe in. Whatever it is, remember Melissa Carbone's story, a story of resilience, determination, and unwavering belief in the power of bold choices.
Take that leap of faith, embrace those challenges, and go take your best ride.